Hi guys, it's Mooney, and I wanted to thank you guys. I have 8 subscribers now, and that is not a lot. However, that means 8 people saw my video and decided to click subscribe, and I am forever, eternally grateful for that. Thank you guys. This video is about the psychology and the philosophy of Honkai Star Rail, and a little bit about the structure, but I hope you guys find this video enjoyable and agree with anything I said. And if you do, click like, click subscribe, and comment below what was your favorite fact, theory, anything. Alright guys, now onto the video. So what is a path? The game calls it a philosophy of existence, not a theme, not a metaphor, a philosophy of existence. That means every single character, every aeon, and every conflict, they're not just inspired by philosophical ideas, they are the philosophical ideas. Remembrance isn't a power, it's a position on whether the past matters. Veracity isn't hunger, it's a position whether desire has limits. Nihility isn't sadness, it's a position on whether meaning exists at all. Psychology comes in when mortals choose sides. Not because they're religious, but because every person has to answer the same questions. Do I hold on or let go? Do I consume or create? Do I laugh or cry? These are all paths that everyone has to take in life. Remembrance versus nihility, veracity versus beauty, or even elation versus order. The game isn't telling a story with philosophy attached. The philosophy is the story. The psychology is the combat system, and you're not just playing a game, you're watching ideas and concepts fight to the death. And here's the problem. Most players read at a surface level. They see remembrance and think, oh, memory stuff. They see veracity and think, a hungry bug. They see beauty and think sparkles and mirrors. They see elation and think, LOL, random. But that's not reading the lore, that's just labeling it. Surface level reading is why Youre players miss the actual story. Because the game wants you to stay on the surface. It wants you to think the paths are just categories, just damage types, just pretty names for your characters on screen. But the moment you stop reading at surface level, you realize remembrance isn't about memory, it's about love. Veracity isn't about eating, it's about desire. Desire without a mirror, a wanting with no why. Beauty isn't about pretty things, it's about meaning itself. The jeweler's mirror don't reflect your face, it reflects why your face matters. When beauty shattered, meaning shattered with it, and the cosmos has literally been spiraling ever since. Elation isn't about being funny, it's about the mask you wear when meaning dies. Aha laughed at the void, not because it was funny, because the alternative was nothing but silence. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The paths aren't categories, they're wounds, they're desires, and they're masks. And every character in this game, they're not fighting monsters, they're fighting for their answer to existence, or running from it. Even the game backs me up on this, and one of the most important pieces comes straight from the databank. Quote, the actual scope of a path is not fully summarized by just their name. The concepts and philosophies contained within a path can vary greatly from the implications of the path's name. And this to me implies that the names for the eons in-game are nothing but humans' best interpretations for what they do. If Nanook is seen doing nothing but destroying places, then of course there'll be the aeon of destroying. But we don't know the philosophy or psychology behind that destruction. A lot of the time, the game actually gives us a deeper, more understood meaning of a path. Like for the beauty, for example, the path isn't just about pretty things. The game literally says verbatim that beauty is the integration of consciousness, insight, and values. That is meaning. So, if the paths have these deeper meanings like love and desire and meaning itself, where do those meanings come from? The game wants you to think that the path exists independently, that remembrance is just a force in the universe and it fully happened to walk it. But that's just surface level reading again. The truth is the opposite. The aeon is the meaning, and the path doesn't exist separately from the one who walks it. Fully doesn't follow remembrance, fully is remembrance. Their existence defines their path, and their consciousness shapes what holding on even is. Ouroboros isn't just hungry, Ouroboros is desire. Idrilla isn't just beautiful, Idrilla is meaning. The aeons and the paths are not two separate things, they're the same thing. The aeon is the living definition of their concept. So when I say remembrance is love, I'm not guessing, I'm reading Fully's silence and their hoarding of memories and their refusal to let go. And that's not data storage, that's grief. That's love with nowhere to go. And that meaning, it doesn't exist without Fully to hold on to it. Here's what the game doesn't tell you. When an aeon falls, the path doesn't disappear, it lingers. But without an aeon to define it, without a living consciousness to hold the meaning together, the concept scatters, the shape warps, and the name stays the same, but the truth of it, the feeling of it is gone. Remembrance without Fully isn't love anymore, it's just hoarding. Data without any warmth. Veracity without Ouroboros isn't desire, it's just hunger that doesn't know why it's hungry. Beauty without Idrilla isn't meaning, it's fragments. Mirrors that show you everything and nothing at once. The path becomes a corpse, still walking, still labeled, but hollow. And the mortals who walk it, they're not following a living philosophy anymore. They're worshipping a grave. So let's look at the clearest proof, Idrilla. The aeon of beauty is shattered at the consternation star zone. Her fragments scattered, and what was left? The mirror holders collecting shards, Argenti seeing beauty in everything, but why? What is he actually seeing? The path of beauty still exists, but without Idrilla to define it. Beauty became broken, personal, and subjective. That's not a path anymore, that's a wound. Or take Akivili, the aeon who came closest to humanity and who sailed with mortals, who built an entire star rail network so that anyone could explore the unknown. And then Akivili fell. And what was left of that? The express was broken, the star rails are still there, but directionless, and the nameless are still walking, but why? Without Akivili to define it, the Trailblaze isn't a journey anymore, it's just movement, going through motions and walking because stopping is scarier. Then there's Aha. Aha saw all of this happen, watched beauty shatter, and watched the Trailblaze crumble, and watched the cosmos lose its meaning. But Aha laughed. Not because it was funny, but because what else do you do when the mirror breaks? When the journey has no destination, and when the paths become graves, you laugh. You put a mask on, and you pretend you never needed meaning in the first place. That's not elation, that's survival. That's the desire to live. So here's the spiral. Beauty shattered, and meaning fragmented. Trailblaze falls, and the journey loses its meaning. Elation masked, and laughter now is a performance. Veracity vanishes, and desire becomes hunger without a mirror. Nihility rises, and now nihility is the void where meaning used to be. All of these are a sequence of events that happened before the game started, but now it led us into our broken universe that the main character is now currently trying to fix. Each death makes the next one easier. Each hollow path makes the cosmos a little emptier, and that's not a story about gods fighting, that's a story about meaning dying little by little, and we're watching it happen. Here's the thing, Argenti still sees beauty and the Trailblazer still walks. Aha is still laughing, even if it's just a mask. The paths are hollow, and the aeons are dying or gone, and yet people keep going. Not because meaning is still there, it's because they're making new meaning, step by step, laugh by laugh. And that's not the paths or aeons, that's humanity refusing to stop because the gods did. So now the question is, what happens next in Honkai Star Rail? I have theories and I'll share them. But first, you needed to see the real structure. Philosophy isn't in the game, philosophy is the game. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Thank you guys for coming to another HSR lore video. Please, if you liked anything I said, give me a like and a subscribe. And again, comment your favorite fact, or comment your favorite theory, or comment your favorite anything. Put something in the comments for me. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.